Have you noticed the prices going up?
Of course not. I watch Fox News and I pray religiously to the Southern Tragedy Jesus. I don't see anything. A perfect cult member for MAGA. Stop voting for criminals.
You need to take your head out of Trump's and start doing your representation of us.
Who is working with Donald Trump right now behind the scenes?
Mostly God.
Donald Trump is like getting orders from God?
I think so.
Inflation's going up. Gas prices hasn't really come down that much. Eggs? Oh, that's the funny one. The eggs. I'm mad. And I'm a MAGA man. Okay? I don't see anything he's done.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Actually, Trump own supporter, they are turning on him like crazy because they feel betrayed in every angle. But of course, we told you so. So guys, let's dive in. Credit belongs to the owner of the videos. I'll be back with more commentary.
So y'all voted red and now you're broke, mad, and confused. So let's talk about it. The young people who voted for Trump and the Republican movement, they are already regretting their vote. And I'm not even going to pretend to be surprised because I knew it would happen. And y'all got to understand, it's because this is always the play. See, a lot of young people didn't have the tools to really critically think about the impacts of what Trump's policies would have on their lives. And you know why? Because the American education system was never built for you to think critically. It was built to keep you just smart enough to pass a test, but not smart enough to question power. So when the propaganda machine started pumping, most of y'all didn't even know how to check that stuff to know what was factual and what was a lie. You didn't even know how to look past the shiny slogans, the memes, the TikToks, and actually ask real questions like, how does this policy impact me? My rent, my student loan, my future. And now here you are, under this Trump-led regime, finding out the hard way that Republicans do not have your back. That same party that you thought was about freedom is deciding the books you can read now, what rights you have, and whether you can even afford to survive. And look, I get it. When you're young, it feels like political policies and government and all that stuff, it feels like it's just background noise. You think it's something for old people to just argue about, but you see, it is not just noise. It's your life, boo. And if you don't take this seriously, the folks who do take this seriously, you know that older generation that's been controlling everything forever, they gonna keep stacking the deck against you. So now my question is, now that you are living under the policies that you voted for, are you ready to wake up yet? Are you ready to stop treating government like a joke and start treating it like survival? Because until young people wake up, old people are gonna keep cashing checks.
So guys, actually you are starting to see how Trump supporters, they're like, we are tired, we are done, we don't want to defend you anymore, we are done with you. And of course, Trump without base, it's really hard because he's used to tell everything, every lie, and they fall for it. But this time, trust me, it's not working. So guys, I don't know what you think, but let's keep watching.
Trump, rather than exploit our men and women in uniform for your own political theater, look into the mirror and address the acts of violence that you have ordered from your golden Oval Office, creating violence and chaos throughout this country. Take the wasted money in sending the National Guard and the wasted money used on threatening commercials by your Homeland Security Secretary, and use it on real violence and prevention programs that will bring peace. The only one we have to be concerned about is violence is you, Mr. President. Send the National Guard to 1600 Pennsylvania.
Yes. Whoa.
Bring back our governor for questions. Governor
I
Jimmy.
like that fresh. It's cool.
Happy to take any questions from members of the media. Marianne.
Yeah, for those who said that he doesn't break the Constitution for violence.
Taking questions now.
Well, that's going to be litigated. Does Donald Trump have the legal authority
No.
It's unconstitutional. It's against the law. We talked about posse comitatus.
Exactly.
There is no reason why American military can be or should be in American cities when there is not an insurrection.
Boom.
They are required, members of the Illinois National Guard are members of the military. And when they are called up according to Title 10 by the President of the United States, they are required to follow orders, just as they are when the governor calls them up.
Under Title 32.
Under Title 32.
Right.
Well, that's got to be determined. I exactly agree with the point that you're making. Yes. I'm sorry.
What if he calls him up first under Title 32?
Maybe I can ask the Attorney General to talk about his work.
What if, like, okay, pause.
You talk about half-truths when I listen to you. You know nothing about taking care of children because you've always had a really good-paying job. You know nothing about what a working-class citizen does. Come down here. Come down here and start trying to pay your medical insurance. Come down here and walk into Costco to try to feed your family, to feed your kid that's moved out, to feed your great-grandchildren. I had a very good job in California, and I'm able to feed my family, and it goes all the way to great-grandchildren. You're not helping me. Believe me, you're not helping me. You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your representation of us.
So guys, actually with him, MAGA thought they are going to live in paradise, but instead they are living in fear of tomorrow, future. They don't know how to survive all this. Some of them, they don't have their job. They lost their job already. Some of them, they don't know how to pay their kids' school. They don't know how to pay their doctor treatment. Some of them, they're losing their farm. And of course, they're pissed about it. Trust me, next year, mid-election, we see something you never see before. That's how I feel. I don't know what you feel, but that's how I feel. I think the things are turning bad. We don't see those MAGA are in denial. Maybe they don't want to say it loud because they're so proud, but let's keep watching.
I fully recognize that a not insignificant number of Trump voters didn't specifically sign up for this. They thought he was mostly bluster. They talked themselves out of holding him accountable for January 6th. They convinced themselves that his 34 felony convictions were politically motivated, or maybe they just didn't really understand him. All because they were clinging longingly to memories of 2016 to 2020, before all the infections and death and violence, and before inflation exploded our cost of living. If we just allow this to be true, whether we forgive it or not doesn't matter. I just need these people to understand how much wildly unnecessary trauma has been inflicted on the country as a result. Because nothing, and I mean not a single goddamn thing he has done, has anything to do with anything that went well from 2016 to 2020. Millions of small business owners are now paying import taxes on the goods that they build and sell. Kilmar Abreu Garcia, the father of an American citizen and the husband of an American citizen, was arrested without cause, sent to a terrorist prison, flown back to the United States on judge's orders, reunited with his family, and then detained again. And now that psychopath Kristi Noem is threatening to deport him to Uganda. They don't speak Spanish in Uganda because it's in Africa, all in forcing millions and millions of dollars in charges to taxpayers and inflicting PTSD-level trauma on his wife and child in Maryland, all because Trump and his little trolls are absolutely incapable of admitting when they fucked up. Instead, they're trying to make us pay for their efforts to save face. On top of that, tens of thousands of federal employees without their careers, over 100 lives lost, including dozens of little kids, and those floods in Texas, all because Republican state officials couldn't figure out how to warn people. Trillions in new debt that our kids are going to have to figure out a way to pay off. Also, Trump could extend tax cuts for rich people that economists have proven over and over again to have been almost entirely ineffective in driving economic activity. And of course, $1 trillion in cuts to food and healthcare for those in the working class struggling most. So far in the first 8 months of this disaster of a presidency, thanks entirely to Republican voters, we have had to watch Trump operationalize his nationalist authoritarian hate, all while doing exactly fucking nothing for the working class.
Lloyd, what's the message? Jesus died on that cross so we could live, and this is not living.
Amen. I respect that.
So recently, I ran into two of my friends, and they were both big Trump supporters. So I stopped and I said, hey, what do you think about everything that's going on with the cuts and no childhood cancer research and cuts to U.S. aid? And so what do you think? How's it going? And they both said, well, you know, since the election, we decided not to follow politics that closely. Really? So you voted for Trump, but now you don't want to follow politics? And why is that? Well, you know, it was just too upsetting. Oh, really? You voted for Trump? Choke on that word. You voted for Trump, and now you don't want to take any responsibility?
So as you see, many people trusted him for the best economy. They trusted him for, I don't know, whatever, because it doesn't make sense to me why they can trust him for the best economy or for anything, because first of all, he don't keep his promise. And the second one, he warned them what he's going to do, but they went ahead and voted for him. And he told them he don't care about them, but they're like, they ignore it. And now he's showing them, they are crying about it. But guess what? Some people feel no sympathy for this kind of people. So guys, actually I have one clip I have left. Let's watch. We'll be back.
Hey MAGA voters, this message is for you. I know how excited you guys get every time one of these undocumented immigrants is stripped away, actually physically pulled away from their little children or their wives or their husbands and detained and put into a concentration camp surrounded by alligators and serpents. I know that gets you really excited, but I just thought I'd give you a quick lesson in macroeconomics, especially for those of you that have no money. You're about to go broke, and I'll tell you why. See, here's the thing about America. Undocumented immigrants are a fundamental piece of our economy. It will not work without them. See, many of these people, most of them, pay taxes. They get few benefits, but they do actually pay taxes. They grow the gross national product, and they hold the fabric of America together by doing jobs that spoiled Americans will not do. Okay? This also causes inflationary pressure, which means everything is going to get a lot more expensive. So every time you celebrate one of these poor people being detained and deported, just keep in mind, you're one person closer to going broke. You're going to lose everything you have. And remember who you voted for. You voted for someone who doesn't even know what macroeconomics means, doesn't know the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics, okay? You voted for a dunce, and he's going to be your undoing. But keep in mind that he's really rich, and all the people in the GOP that are sucking up to him, see, they're really rich too. So I hope you're really rich, because if you're not...
Still so angry. They won the election. They got what they wanted. They say that everything that Trump is doing is why they voted for him. But why are they still spending so much time and energy arguing with people who disagree with Trump and his policies? In my comment section, making videos, just the anger and the vitriol continues to seethe through them. And the reason is because they still don't have control. They can't control how we think and feel, and that we still disagree with him. Just because Trump is president does not mean that we have to roll over and acquiesce and accept that everything he says or does. We are allowed to question, we are allowed to speak up, we are allowed to protest if we don't like what's happening in our government. I know if Kamala Harris had won, I would be peaceful. I would be enjoying my time, and I would be focusing on the progress that she was making towards the goals that I was behind and I supported. I would not be spending so much time and energy still arguing with people who did not vote for her in the previous election. It's a waste of energy. The election is over. However, the people who did vote for Kamala Harris and didn't get the outcome that they wanted still have the right to continue to fight and speak for important matters and issues at hand in our country. But we know that MAGA is all about control, and they want everyone to feel the same way, to accept the same facts that they have, and to not really question it and just to follow blindly, because that's what they do. do. And they don't understand that we have the ability to critically think and use our minds and our morals to make different decisions. So I guess MAGA, continue being angry that you won because you can't shut us up, and we're going to keep being loud. So
I think Ben & Jerry's should twist the knife a little bit more and come out with a new flavor called MAGA Tears. It would be the richest, darkest, most chocolatey ice cream with sprinkles, rainbow sprinkles all throughout, and then little chocolate burritos and tacos mixed in. I think that is the way that would send MAGA over the top and just absolutely make their heads explode. They're already furious that Ben & Jerry's is promoting progressive and liberal policies and appears to have a liberal agenda, that they just can't wrap their heads around it. They're throwing out their ice cream in droves. But if we could come out with a MAGA Tears through Ben & Jerry's with that dark chocolate ice cream, rainbow sprinkles, and little chocolate burritos and tacos, I think some of them would just keel over. If they want inclusion at Ben & Jerry's, they could also come out with a MAGA flavored ice cream. Now, it would just be plain vanilla, just pure white, plain, flavorless vanilla. Nothing mixed in, nothing going on in the ice cream, just plain, basic vanilla.
So guys, I think what you're seeing, it's like people turning on Trump. I believe like some of them, they're not willing to change the parties. They will always stay with Republican, but they don't like Trump this time because what he promised them, he's not giving them. Because let me tell you what MAGA thought. MAGA thought, like, of course, other people will suffer, but for them, they'll be treated different. They'll be priority because they voted for this. They will have the best economy. You can see how some MAGA or Republicans say, oh, we are in red state, but the gas is expensive too. What is this? It's like they expect, like in their own state, things to be cheaper, but when it's blue state, it can be expensive as much as it can. They don't care about that. That's how much these some MAGA are so selfish. They don't care about any other person. They only care about themselves. And trust me, when you live like this in this world, you're gonna pay for it. And this is what's happening to you. The reason why it's hitting you so hard is because you didn't see this coming. You knew it will happen, but you thought it will happen on other people, but not you. But of course, your heart is broken because he lied to you. And I believe like whatever happening to people who voted for this, you deserve it because you voted for this. You stand with this. You chose this. It's not like you didn't know. It's not his first time. Many people know him. Many people try to warn you. I don't even understand what one good thing he ever did can make you bet your life, your family, your business on him. Someone who can't even manage his own business, you think he can manage yours, the country? Seriously? That's kind of ignorant or blind. I don't even understand. I wish we have MAGA on this channel, even though I know they hate my channel, they hate my card, but I wish we have them so to hear from them why they did all this, because so far I haven't seen something so convincing. The reason why normal person can do this, I don't understand that one. Unless you're blind, ignorant, or you have other agenda behind that. So guys, let's read the comment from the people here, what the people have to say about the situation. But you're welcome to let me know what you think so too. The first say, like, even his supporter is saying enough is enough. That's a big. I'm happy for that. The second say, I voted for him twice, but I can't do it again. Too much drama and too much lies. The third one said, Trump fatigue is real. People are burned out. The fourth one said the GOP can't win if the base is walking away. The last one said he built his brand on loyalty and now it's collapsing. Yeah, it's collapsing because whatever he wants to, he can lie to you just like that. He don't care about your feelings. So yeah, that's it. That's how it's happening. So guys, I don't know what you think. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel as always. I'll see you next time. Bye.